Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, happy. I don't know what I want to say. Whether some people will find it inappropriate if I say happy Independence Day, but I will just say happy new month. It's a new month. Happy new month, my people. You are welcome. Good day to you all. Good afternoon. So officially Nigeria is 60 years and I wanted us to have a say. Yeah, let's talk about everything that is you know, not working or working. Are there any hope for a united Nigeria? Can it get better? Let's talk about it. It's Nigeria's independence. So you're welcome to my channel. You're welcome to my channel. Say something, let me know who is here. Good afternoon. It's afternoon here in Germany. You're welcome. Happy new month. This is Blessedom TV. You're welcome to my channel. Yeah, I hope that if you're not yet subscribed, that you subscribe today. And yeah, Nigeria is celebrating 60 years of independence today. So I wanted us to talk about this Nigeria's independence today, in the sense that, there's a lot of things going on right now in Nigeria and across the world. And it's a lot of talk about breaking up the country, about secession, and also about the problem of herdsmen. Happy new month. You're welcome, my brother Lotana. You're welcome. So there's a lot of talk about the country disintegrating. There's a lot of talk about the ethnic cleansing that is going on, and yeah, what some people call what some people like to say farmer herders clash. And there is also a lot of marginalization and nepotism in how the country is being run, and also tribalism. So yeah, I thought that we should talk about it in an open conversation, so that it's not just going to be me saying what I think, or just talking about my own perspective, but that we can have a form of conversation, like have your say what you think, and let it be an interactive section where anyone can come and learn something from it. So you're welcome to today's live broadcast live broadcast. So I promised that I was going to make a number available today, so it's going to be WhatsApp number. It's going to be a WhatsApp number, and I don't know if it is okay, if you would want for me to leave the number behind, or if it's okay to write it. Let me know what you think. I think I will just go by what you want. So Nigeria is at 60 years, and the Nigerian government at the moment is not making it look like there is any hope, and there's a lot of things that have been happening also since independence. And it doesn't look like it's going to get better. And there's a lot of call, for secession, especially for Biafra agitation that's been going on for a long while now. Recently, the Odua Republic and the call for the Odua Nation, and yeah, because of the way the country is going, people are hopeless, and there's a lot of people trying to escape the country. People are trying to go anywhere but stay in Nigeria, and we see the repercussions of this large emigration out of Nigeria because of residency issues, and problems that people face as foreigners in other countries that is not their own. So Nigerians are having it tough at the moment, wherever they are, whether they are at home. I shared some video about Nigerians in Ghana. You can check out that video, is on my YouTube channel here. So you can see what Nigerians who are doing business. Ah, oh, good evening. It's afternoon in our side here. You're welcome. You're welcome. So here, in Germany, the Nigerians that are here are facing a lot of issues about residency permits, and looking for ways to legalize their stay and be of documented immigrants. So you have that problem all over the place. Some time ago, we saw what happened. Australia. Oh, I thought you are in the US. Okay. That means you are already in our tomorrow now. You are far ahead of us. So I think that we should talk about this Nigeria 60. And what is at the lips of everybody is disintegration at the moment. And I don't know if this integration is going to be the solution that we are looking for, because it might just become another creation of another Nigeria. And I think that what we need, first of all, is we need to have this conversation about the Nigeria, about the constitution, and first of all, to see if the constitution can be amended. If the constitution can be amended, and if we can go back to regional governments, where every region will have their own parliament, will have their own police, will have their own legislation, that, like, we run the affairs of their own region, and there will just be a center. Hello, you're welcome, Amos. You're welcome. Hello, you're welcome. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So this is my own view of it, that I'm thinking that there's a lot of rush. There's really a lot of rush. I am in support of Biafra, for example, and I feel that Biafra is something that happened to the Southeasterners. It's something that the Southeasterners suffered from. But I think that before we can go into another deliberate attempt to get Biafra, there are so many things that need to be put in place in Biafra land. For example, the issue of the Osu caste system is still there. So there are a lot of people who are born free, but the customs of the land where they have come from make them to be not free, like this caste system that puts this burden on people. And there is a lot of issue talking about embezzlement of funds by governors and people who represent us at the center, especially here in the Southeast. Like, they have stolen this conversation about our place in Nigeria as Southeasterners. This few collection of men and women, they just use up all the resources that is supposed to be for the whole Southeast region. And they pocket this money, and they don't do anything for this region. And this region remain the least in government infrastructure, in government intervention. Everybody is on their own in this region. And because of this, everybody feels that they are slaves in the Southeast. I think that restructuring is a good place to start, because first of all, no matter how we want disintegration as a group of people, as a nation, it is the people in government that will decide it, not the ordinary person at the street. That is the truth. It is, as long as the people in parliament are not talking about how to restructure Nigeria, how to divide the country or something like that. Like the people that have access to the resources of the state, be it the military, be it the legislators, be it people who represent the nation, the state, because at this time the state has the authority to to carry out violence. The state has all the apparatus, it has all the support. So the Nigerian state, you understand, is the only one that can do this. And those people representing the state have all this capacity in their hand. They are the ones that will decide. And as long as these people are not talking about this thing, they are not talking about what the local person is interested in. They're not talking about what the regional people are interested in. Instead, they have kind of inculcated this idea that you are slaves. I believe that no matter the loopholes in the constitution, no matter how it is, you continue to fight it. You continue to fight it. If you are in the legislation, you continue to fight everything that is being used to manipulate the constitution, to give an edge over your people. You continue to fight it. If, for example, this issue of cutoff mark for Unity Secondary School, they've taken it to court, and the court granted that it is unfair, it should be done away with, and they are not implementing it. So then you go to court again, you continue to fight it with all means necessary. You see all this crying outside is good, like you can demonstrate and all those things, but at the end of the day, it's those people who are representing you that we have to do the work. And it's those people who are representing the Southeast that get this allocation. Thank you, my brother. Yeah, there's a lot like there are so many things involved. You understand? And Nigeria is like it has a lot of problem, especially because the elites who are ruling this country, they have not really understood the concept of humanity, equality, and what like merit. Yeah, you can say that I'm hallucinating, but look at it. The person that is running around, going around the world, going around, maybe you go to in front of the US and you demonstrate, you go to the front of the street of this Germany or everywhere you are demonstrating. How has that changed what is going on in Nigeria? It's still the same people who are running the show. It's still the same people who are doing what they are doing. Still the same people who are embezzling the funds. They have now told Igbo people that they are slaves, and Igbo people have now ingrained it into themselves that they are slaves in Nigeria. Meanwhile, there has never been a time where there is anybody that is not Igbo is in charge of Igbo land. Like talking about governors, talking about people who are in charge of whatever allocation that is coming to Igbo land. It has always been in the hands of Igbo people. And if it was the fact that maybe they put an Hausa man to be like the governor of Imo State, for example, it will be like, oh, they put people or other people over us. But there have always been Igbo people running Igbo land. And the same problem is there. There is no sign that anything is going to change. If anything is going to change, it has to start changing now. And as long as you're not seeing that change from within, the same thing you can say from every region. So what I was saying before is every region, like when it comes to the ordinary people are always divided according to ethnic group and all those things. But when it comes to the elite, they are always one, like they are one tribe, regardless of where they come from. They attend each other's wedding, they attend each other's functionalities, they visit each other's. They are always friends with each other. Why will I allow somebody to come to my page and be calling me prostitute? Why? Is that something to call to have a conversation about? There's nothing. If you want to insult me, then I'm not going to allow you to come and bully me. Okay? But if you have something to talk about, we can talk about it. Yeah? I'm fighting my own because I'm trying to educate people on what is actually going on. Somebody taking you for a ride is not fighting for you. Let me tell you guys, you think that somebody talking tough, like this guy that is talking like a madman, is telling you that if he was, there's something wrong with you, and you begin to inculcate it that there's something wrong with you because you are black. You know, you say somebody teach you that something is wrong with you. Somebody teach you that you as an African, you are no longer complete. You have to be something else. Like somebody removes you from within your mind and takes you to somewhere else, and you begin to dream. You're no longer facing the reality that is facing you. And that reality is that when it comes to allocation, Buhari gives everybody their allocation. Like if there was a case that Buhari is not remitting the allocation that is due to the Southeast, then you can have a case there. And when it comes to the 68 items that are exclusive list, not only Igbo people are suffering. I don't know the question you asked me now that I didn't respond. I don't know the question. Maybe you can ask the question again. I don't know the question. So I want us to have this conversation. You can call in if you want to contribute to this thing. Let me write the number that you can call in on WhatsApp. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I wanted to write something. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is there is problem everywhere. There is problem everywhere. The only thing I've seen that is happening with African people is we are always in a hurry. Yeah, like this idea that you can just normally when children are playing, or maybe you are fighting as children and something happens, um for example, and the children don't get along anymore, and they say, you're no longer my friend, you're no longer my friend, I'm not going to play with you again. This is something like that, you understand? And meanwhile, what we have in Nigeria right now is the coming together of different ethnic nations, and these different ethnic nations have their systems before, they had their language before, they have their ways of life before. But in Nigeria, the ruling elite of Nigeria, the military people, the politicians, they have failed to give the whole group of people, the whole ethnicity, a common purpose. A common purpose. Like, for example, when you go to China, you see this massive expanse of land and people, and they are speaking one language, and they are having one constitution, they are having one country ruling and making, these are elites with foresight who can look far beyond. But we don't have this in Nigeria. What we have is elites that are driven with poverty mentality. Poverty mentality is you want to eat, eat, eat because you are coming from lack. So you can't see beyond yourself. I remember, like, when I was going to the university here at the University of Vienna, I realized, like, when they are talking about building of bridges, for example, in civil engineering. So when they are doing building of, like, they're talking about a bridge, it has a lifespan. Some of those bridges, the lifespan is 500 years. Now, the people who are building this bridge, they know they are not going to be alive in 500 years' time, but they are laying the foundation, they are making it and giving it this lifespan. So it's for the people who are coming behind to go back to the plan and to the master plan background and look at it, and continue to work on it, and following the recommendations of the plan that has been put down 500 years ahead. But we don't have this. What we are having is belle-faced politicians, today, tomorrow. So they are always in a hurry. They want it now, and when they don't get it now, they throw tantrums. And this is what we are suffering. This is what we're suffering. Like, for example, Buhari, he wanted the power so much. He wanted this power so much. He took it by force as a coup plotter, and then he came back to democracy. He tried to get it, and then finally he got the power. It's not like, now I've arrived. It's like, okay, let me eat and take as much as I can now that it's in my hand. Because he doesn't see beyond now. He doesn't see, like, no matter what he does, no matter how many Fulani Buhari is going to empower and everything, it's not going to last for, like, after a while, it will be over. You see? So they want Nigeria, but they don't understand the implications of having a united front. So the politicians have always played the ethnicities against each other. You understand? But when they come together, they are one. But when they want to get the power to go to the center, become, representative, they play the tribe card, they play the ethnicity card, and you see this ethnicity card, repeating itself within the state. For example, in Imo State, you will see Olu zone, Okigwe zone, Owerri zone. You will see this competition. You are from this zone, you are from this zone. It will continue to reverberate. Then if you go to the southwest, the same thing. You will see this thing. You understand, this wrangling between the minorities within themselves, within Egba, Ijebu, Eko, all these kind of things. The Ijebu, you will now, it will become magnified again. So at the end of the day, when you are looking at all these things, you realize that the elite, the ruling elite, the military, the politicians, they have failed in building a unitary country. They have failed in giving this country a purpose. They have failed in the way they apply justice. It is unfair justice. Like, they have failed in all the things that make a country one. And they don't have a unitary constitution. They have a constitution that is like being used to oppress some groups and favor the other group. And even that constitution, they are not applying it equally across board. So this is a problem of the politicians. And if you look at it, all the problems we have been having in Nigeria, be it the Biafran war, be it the suffering we are suffering, it's all problem of politics. There's problem of elections, maybe the outcome did not come well as they suppose, and then there's a coup, and then there are politicians who don't agree with each other, and they fought against themselves, and then who bears the brunt? You see, the same thing when they field their candidate and their candidate doesn't get in, or the person that they want to go to power, it did not get there, then who is going to suffer? So at the end of the day, you see that all the thing we are suffering is politics. Well, we need to calm down and see to it that these people are the problem, all ruling elites, not you, the ordinary person. As long as they don't get the politics right, it is not going to be right anywhere else they break into, because they have not understood the concept of having an organized system that works on merit, that distributes the resource unequivocally around the people in the country and the regions of the country. You don't see a reasonable elite that is running a country wanting to provide transportation, cutting accessions of the country that is supposed to develop also, but you see wise elites who are running countries, you see them wanting to develop their countries. They want railways to go through the countries from one end to the other, like they have the whole nation in their eyes. But when you come to Africa, they are still in that tribal mind. You understand? So when you take all these elites that are ruling Nigeria, they are still the same people that wants to rule when you go to Biafra. What is the indication that they are going to do better? For example, the Biafra that Nnamdi Kanu wants to lead, for example, you are not going to be able to have a free say. You are not going to be able to have free speech. You are not going to be able to have a contrary opinion. It will be that you are talking against the chosen one, the one that God has blessed, and then your head will be hanged. You see, is this the kind of difference that is going to be made? Exactly. So the politicians come from the people. So when you see all these people, the politicians are actually a reflection of the people, but the politicians are a reflection of the people, true, but at the end of the day is some sophisticated politicians that will come out and make the difference. For example, now the military and the judiciary, everything, the parliament, they are all in support of one Nigeria. You cannot take that away from them as an ordinary person. Because if you try it, you'll be called insurgent, you'll be called secessionist, you'll be called terrorist, and you will be summarily dealt with. But the only people who can fight this fight legally, if you really want this, is the people you are sending to represent you. And so you have to begin the groundwork. Who do you want to represent you? Because he said, the politician are a reflection of ourselves. So who do you want to represent you? Then that fight that you are itching to go and face the military, you face that fight in your local region, from your local government. You put the person you know is speaking the language you want, that thing you want the world to hear. Then you give the people that will have that mandate so that they will speak that language you want. And if they are not speaking it, you have the power to recall them. There is still that provision in the constitution. You can recall politicians who are not doing what they are supposed to do. It is possible. So as weak as the constitution is, there is always a way to circumvent everything. But the problem we have now, we have people who have sold the idea of absolute solution. This is the only solution to your problem. And we know there is nothing absolute in this life. It's always here and there. You understand? There is nothing, but they have sold this to our people that it has to be this without this. And then our people are in this constant mindset that when I get this, I will be very happy. When we get this, you now have that mindset, but it is still the same people who are in this situation, who are in this present, who are running this show now, that are going to carry whatever they have now and transfer it. If they say they can do better, let them prove it first. They have Igbo land. They are in control of Igbo land. Let them show us what they can do. Let them show us the difference. Let them even create an interstate, like a regional, just that 5 state. Let them even create a regional economy that interlocks the states. Let them create a road network that like they have federal road, they have state road. Let them show us the difference. Do you know that state government has the autonomy to even have dealings with foreign countries, to have United Nations industrial development corporation? They can do so much. You don't see them exert this power. They only do it when you have offended them. Then you see the full force of their law, of the power that is in their hands. But other than that, they play into the psyche of the people that your problem is in Abuja, that is only Abuja. But that you are a state governor, what infrastructural capacity can you build where you are? Show us. Ah, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, like show us what you can do, you know, and then you are going to, it's going to be a gradual thing. Anybody that tells you that he's going to do anything hard, 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 it's like somebody telling you that he need you to be ready to die and all those kind of a thing. He's not going to yield anything, because the only time you can be talking like that is, for example, if you know, for example, that the United States is behind you. Something like the state of Israel. They are very strong when they issue you a threat, whatever, because they know, like they say, that when your father is in heaven, you cannot go to hellfire. But when you don't have the world power backing you, the world power is backing the state of Nigeria. The world needs Nigeria to be remain united for now. Huh? So what is the essence of all this wrangling? And then you want Biafra, but you hate other people. But even when you get Biafra, how do you want to interrelate with your neighbors? Do you think you're just going to be isolated? Then you are going to just deal with Israel, import everything with Israel, then all your neighbors can go to hell? Like, I don't understand the thinking behind that. But I feel that first things first, every country in this world have problem. Like here in Germany, on the third, in 2 days time, is going to be the public holiday of Vida Vereinigung. That means the coming together again of the two Germans, because before they were separated and they came together. So it's a public holiday. So I feel that the Nigerian state is acting like a tyrant. It's not protecting the people like what we see in the middle belt. You see people who have been exterminated, you see them languishing in IDP camps, and you see them, the people who have taken over their land are still there. So you can argue that Biafra is going to be the solution, but you have not even thought about the modalities behind it. For example, you need to start with the territory. Where is this country that you want to give it that sovereignty? Where are the territory? You line it up, you map it out. Are the stakeholders within this territory working towards it? Are you all in agreement? What is the representation in the government of this region saying? When you are saying you want, like when you look at what is happening in Catalonia, in Scotland, it is their parliamentarians, it's their legislators that are actually talking about it. The people come out en masse at some point to protest. And then Niger Delta want to secede, and then they don't want to secede, and then and so and the funny thing, when you come to Edo State, you have Edo, you have also other minority tribes. There are so many tribes in this small enclave. The same thing when you come to the middle belt, there are so many ethnicities. So most times we are just looking at Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, but there are so many other minority ethnic groups that are interloped within all these places. So even if you want to do a Christian Muslim split, there are still going to be remnants of Christians. For example, in the northwest, in the northeast, what are you going to do with those Christians? So they are going to be minority Christians. They are going, like, it's a quagmire right now. And I'm looking at it that the more we are staying together as one country, the more difficult it's going to be to split the country, because people are getting used to living with each other, especially now with the internet, with social media. There's a lot of things happening. And I think that because the military is largely lying in the hands of the northern elite, they have more power to call the shots, because they can decide what they want, because they have all the resources of the state at their disposal. And of late, we hear a lot of the Southerners crying, Fulani herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen. And you realize that Fulani threat of Islamization or extermination or whatever it is real in the mind of a lot of people. So how can it be a circumvent? Like, how can you step into solve this problem. It can be assumed that Fulani herdsmen or whoever, whatever, that they are emboldened because they feel that the resources of the military and everything that Nigeria has is in the hands of one of their own. So it gives them this leverage and this power over you. So what do you want to do? Fulani that are about like 5 million people in Nigeria, and the Igbo nation is estimated to be about 40 million. The Yoruba nation is I think about 50 million. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And people in the middle belt that are not Fulani, they are more than 40 million. Like, you are looking about 150 million people, or I mean like 120 million people, just a rough estimate. 120 million people are crying and falling over themselves because of the injustice that is being meted out by 5 million people. And so you have to think, okay, what gives them the power that the Fulani has over you? It is the seat of power, the Nigerian judiciary, the Nigerian presidency, the Nigerian military. How do they come into control of this? Through elections, and they get hold of this power. What can you do to change it? Okay, fine. If you are 120 million people, a rough estimate, again I say, and you have about 5 million people, and the election is decided by popular vote, you have a solution right there, right there. If you are sophisticated and you really want a solution for your problem, the solution is right there in front of you. All you have to do is come together and play a better politics and cooperate better, and work together better, and then you get this power back into your hands to balance the equation. It is not something that you have to be sitting down and crying like an incapacitated baby that cannot help himself, that has to be spoon-fed, that has to be changed diaper, that has to be put to sleep, that has to be consoled. Like, I don't know if it is only me that is saying this thing like this. This is really what I feel. If you have a problem, you think about how you're going to go about it and solve it. You see, nobody's interested to hear your problems, but people are interested to see how you solve your problem. People want to see how you survived, how you triumphed over your problem. Nobody wants to hear your problem. Everybody have their sub story. Go to any country, there's a sub corner somewhere there. If you go to the US, there are corners there that they have their sub story. In this country, everywhere, there are always this part of it. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that they think along sectional lines, because they, like again I said, because they have access to the money and the power of the Nigerian state. They have access to it. So of course, there is actually no saying that anybody that has that kind of power at their disposal will do any differently. Like, for example, we see it when a young lady takes in a young girl as their maid. You see how they brutalize them just because they have the power over their life. They deal mercilessly with that child. But I believe in staying on a possible solution and not be distracted by all the possibilities of how it's not going to work. Like, to really concentrate on how can it be better, how can it work, because going to war is a waste. This will just cause death and destruction, and then at the end of the day it's still that like after many devastation, so it's going to be a vicious cycle. I feel that there is absolutely no need for war, because no matter what is bad now, war is worse. This is my thinking, and I feel that we see all this killing in the northwest and in the middle belt. It's painful, but in a war it's going to be a free for all killing, like killing everywhere, and all kinds of atrocity and lack, and this is a huge body of humans within this space. Is going to be very brutal, and the repercussion will be very immense for all the West African states. So I don't see this as a solution for Nigerians and for Africans as a whole. How much more dying and worrying people do we want to see? How much more? I think this is a time that Africans need to utilize their mind more, because I see that it's very easy to manipulate African people, and they just jump and then they cry later. I think that we can actually look beyond this immediate cry for death. Yeah, and they can do it. They have the capacity. For example, they have it. For example, the state parliament, like I remember when I was in the university was like a mini state. The university had a senate, the university had a VC, they had some kind of government, and before they take any decision, they have to sit, and like the same way, all these things that they are crying about outside, you don't need to make it a topic of every day. It's something that you can demonstrate, and they will know that there's a problem, and then they get to work in the state parliament. you know let us see what you can do. For example, we see Owerri. For example, if you see Aba, we don't even have planned cities. Like, you don't have, like like in the southwest. What I notice is, when there's a rural area, before they start to build houses or something like that, they already map out, do some kind of minimal urban planning, that at least there will be road. But what we have is sprawling cities, sprawling houses. So for an average Igbo person, building a concrete house is development. But we are not looking at how can we have an organized place where there will be roads that are interconnected, like plan it out and allow people to build along the lines of the plans. We don't have this. We don't have a central water system that can supply water. Everybody has to dig their own source of water, to provide water for themselves. And you have a state government that can do this. For example, when I was in Lagos, Lagos used to have Lagos Water Board, that they produce water, and people have to connect to it, and they put the pipes across. We don't have this in the southeast. So imagine all the pollutants that will be going into the groundwater because of, again, because of the toilets that have to be dug around all these places, and the infiltration of the contaminants from feces and all these things inside the water, underground water, the water bed that is flowing underneath. Like, there's so many things that they could do. And you're talking about erosion. Some roads, some localities are gone. So it is the governments in the southeast that are the real failure. And they push this away from us so that we don't see their failure. And they make our people to concentrate on the center. You see, they are not doing anything, nothing. They can't even build primary school. Primary school. They can't even build secondary school, equip it, put chair, put board, so that at least children can go to school. Like, they are not doing virtually nothing. But somehow we are believing that once we get Biafra, everything is going to be fine. We have so many things that we need to put in place. And now, since the center is not yielding, we have fought a war. It is very, very unwise for you to go and attack the center again. You can build that Biafra, and everybody will see your region. Like, when somebody leaves, crosses Ondo State and coming into Igbo region, they'll begin to, wow, am I still in Nigeria? This is the wow effect. You can use this as a statement more than any other thing. But when you see that discrepant road, the same dysfunctional system, the same maltreatment, the same problem of social crisis, criminal crisis everywhere, there is nothing different, then you don't make a case for anybody to even take you serious, and then they are going to be looking at you and wonder, okay, so, like, what is the point of creating another Nigeria from the already existing Nigeria, for example? So now we want regional government, at least it will be a better place to start if it is possible, of course. But if it is not possible, and I don't know why I want to say this now, but let us not forget that the British left us with a regional government. It was still something was not working with it, or somehow they felt that uniting it will be a better option. So, like sometimes you wonder that okay, now we are crying for going back to regional government, and we have already forgotten that what the British left for Nigeria was the same system they had in their country. It was a confederation. The British left us with this. It would have worked perfectly. But somehow, the politicians of the day thought it was wise to change that, and here we are now. So what is the guarantee that when you say you want to split and then you go to wherever you are going, then it's so repressive and it's not what you want, and then you want to come back? Most of the problem we are suffering is politics. Because for example, if they left it the way the British left it and continue to manage any problem that arose out of it without trying to put everything together under one basket and like sit over it like Lord God of heaven, maybe we will not be in this problem today. So for me personally, I'm just calling for caution. I don't see the need for people dying unnecessarily, and I don't see the reason why we cannot use what is available now to better the lot of the people living in Nigeria right now. Because if all the governors, if all the senators, if all the House of Rep members do not embezzle the funds, they carry out their constituency projects, they do what they are supposed to do, if the governors are vested in their, because this regional government we are talking about is almost like what the state governments also represent. Let us not forget, because the state has its own parliament, it has its own autonomy on many levels. It can decide so many things on its own, but they have kind of indoctrinated us that the states are so powerless that they can't do anything. But that is not true. We see Kano State, they introduce their Hisba police. The state has the capacity to do that. All it takes is for the Senate, the state Senate to decide, the state parliament, I don't know what they call it, House of Rep or whatever, they have to decide, and it becomes a state, a law in that state. The state have all this capacity, but they are pushing away their incompetence and pushing our eyes to look at Abuja, 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 So that is why everybody is looking at Igbo people and wondering, because we have this region, there is nothing stopping Igbo governors and Igbo elites who are in power, who are in money, to make Igbo cities, big metropole, that Igbos may not even need to be scavenging anywhere to go and look for anything except for anything better than what they have in their region. But right now, what we have is individual achievement. We have still not gotten to that level of having organized collective achievements. What we have is individuals who are doing well, who are exceptionally good at what they are doing, who are exceptionally rich, who have a lot of money, who build fantastic, beautiful mansions, but they are all for individuals, for one person. We have not gotten to the stage where we are doing anything collective. And because you don't have this collective development, collective invested infrastructural or rural upliftment, you see everybody looking for something. That's why you have so many poor people who are desperate in Igbo land to do anything to have a living, because whatever is going on is individual, it's not central. You understand? But we have the possibility to use the states that we have to make a difference. I believe so. I believe that. Sorry, let me drink something. Yeah, so my people, I believe that as things are now, I cannot say that things are going to be better. For example, for people who are, losing their loved ones, who are dying. But what can be done to change it? I believe from every corner, everybody can do what they can. you know. Let it be that the president is in charge of the military and that they are doing laws on the national scale, but let the state governors take charge and do what they are supposed to do. Let them bring development to the regions, to the rural areas, to the local governments, you know. And I'm even talking about government. I'm talking about the governors, you know, but we also have the local government, and I learned that the local government is like, you know, it's three tiers of government, and the local government are getting their funds straight from Abuja, you know. So the local government, if they have visionary people there, they can also work for their local government and change some things for their local government, and maybe make their local government headquarters small cities. Like, there are so many things that can be done. But what we have are greedy people who are suffering from poverty mentality, who want to embezzle everything, and they don't even have any idea what they want to do with that money. They would like to go to abroad, you know, and build a house and send their children abroad. You know, they don't have vision. They don't still understand what is going on in the world, and you know, they are just blinded by this greed, and now they are putting all this thing in the heart of people, and people are running around. You understand? Just a second. Where is that? Where is that? Just a second. Okay, auch nicht mit meinem Ausweis. Ah, okay. Da müsste das auch nicht. Alles gut. Ebenfalls, tschüss. Hast du das aufgegessen? Hm?
They still ask for help. Why did you call?
I'm coming. I will finish in a little bit, okay? Sorry, my people. Yeah, so yeah, this is what I believe, that they deceive us when they make us to face only the Abuja, and not, for example, Owerri or Oka, for example. There's nothing stopping us from having a region that is working, you know, like a region where you from Anambra, you can just move around, when you get everything you want. There's not like there is nothing stopping it. Even there is no seaport, they have the capacity. They can build buy big trucks that will be transporting everything. They can build the road network for it. Like, they have this capacity. They can even collaborate. State governors can collaborate, really. They can form a front as Southeast Development, whatever, or Southeast Forum. They can use that front. They can canvass support from the world, and they will get it for that regional development. But somehow everybody is just focused on one solution, you know, on one something. And especially because, you know, it's not reaching. You are stretching your hand, you want to get it, but you know, it's like you are not getting it, and then it's like, oh, if only you can get this, if only you are getting. But what about the one you have? It's the same thing we are doing every day in our life. We don't have everything we want in our life. We don't have everything we have dreamed of, but we live, we rise above all our difficulties. We make the most of what we have right now. The same thing, the same way we can overcome all these difficulties. I believe so. I don't see any reason why anybody should go and die. I don't believe there is any solution in that. And I know that the people say, hey, look at the military is killing them. Do you know that the state legislation can come together and make a law and empower people within their state to and give confer to them that authority to act as security within that state. They have this ability, they can do it. This is not something anybody will be going about calling Fulani, Fulani, Fulani. Is recognize your problem, start looking for how to solve it. These are all possible things. I don't believe that hating anybody or insulting anybody or attacking anybody is a solution to anything. It is not. But some people have programmed the mind of upcoming youth that you have to hate somebody. You just tag anybody any name because you and them disagree, and then your solution has come. No, 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 no. Instead, you create more problems for yourself. You make it difficult to find allies. You need allies everywhere. You need people who speak good of you. You need people who can recommend you. It is like that in personal life when you are doing your career, you need references who can give reference for you, who can speak well for you, who can say, you have been a good conduct. They trust your personal. You are trustworthy. You need that. And do we have that now? As our southeasterners, for example, like what do we have to show that we can be good ambassadors, that we can be entrusted with the sovereignty of any region? Tyranny, cyberbullying, like what is there to show for it? Crime, get rich by all means, like so many yardstick is missing. I don't see that all this brouhaha has added any solution. It's just showing that this government right now is not loved. It's just like what is going on in the US. Many people don't like the US president, but regardless of how you feel about him, he's the president. No matter if you feel that he didn't win the election, the electoral college granted him the election, he's still the president. You can protest from today to tomorrow, not my president, he's still the president until you are able to circumvent whatever campaign that you did not do well to win another election. It remains like that. So no matter what we feel about Buhari, well, no matter how bad we have seen him, when they say who is representing this territorial region that is called Nigeria that has this sovereignty, is still President Buhari. Like there's nothing you can do about that. And if Buhari is being nepotistic and emboldening her murderers and doing all these things, it's sad, but that is the reality. But everybody in their own state can do what they can do to protect the citizens of their state. You see, and it is possible, it is doable. This is my own thinking, this is my own take on this, and I hope that I'm passing the message across, because sometimes I feel that I'm just in my head talking so many things and people don't understand my point, and people make accusations against me that you are against this, you are against that, but I'm trying to be realistic about the situation on ground. There's no need beating about the bush and beating about, like there's no need beating about the bush and hitting your chest. I believe in practicability. You have to indulge in things that would make a change right now, and plan for the future. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, so this is my own belief. I know that for a certain there's a problem everywhere, and splitting the country into dysfunctional small small entities. It may seem glorious now because there are people who have a stake who want to run the show there, but they have not put forth anything to show that they are better leaders, that they are going to be more fair in their when they get that piece of cake, how they distribute it. They have not shown anything that will make anybody see them more trustworthy than what is available in Nigeria. So we don't even know anything about this thing right now. What the secessionists are all talking about is all what is wrong about Nigeria. But when you are serious about secession, you will be talking about everything that will be good in and how it's going to be good. You will begin to show people that beautiful idea you have, prove it, you show it, demonstrate it, do an exhibition, something like that. Yeah. And that, yeah, that individualism is what is killing us, because that individualism doesn't give room for collective development. And what we cry about is a collective development. If you come to my village, there are houses that when you see them like this, like I remember as a child, sometimes when they ask me to go and get something from some families, like it will be like, imagine when you are just a small child, it will be like the heaven that they are talking about. Like some houses are so beautiful, like when they're talking about heaven, you will just be kind of subconsciously thinking about that kind of house. But on the whole, the collective poverty of the village, the collective poverty of the local government will also not escape them. For example, when it comes to health facilities, it's still the same, health facility that's available. And the next one is maybe in the city center in Owerri or in Umuahia, you have to drive to those medical centers, federal medical centers, to access them. And sometimes it may be too late for a lot of people from the village to the federal medical facilities. You see, so we can still, what stops us from having functional health centers, functional primary school in every village, that are up to date, that are like uplift the lives of people from the rural areas. It is possible. It is possible to do that now. You don't have to get Biafra to do it. You can do it now as a demonstration of how much you want the good for your people. But somehow they make us to forget our immediate responsibility, and to hoping on something that is going to be better when that thing come. Like when you go to heaven, everything will be, the streets will be made of gold. Thank you, my sister. So, they'll tell you that the streets will be made of gold, and then you will sing hallelujah all the days of your life. This is the dream that we have. But when you wake up, the reality is facing you. The same tyranny we see at the center is the same tyranny we see in the state. Do you know that the state governors will go and mark buildings for demolition and demolish it? In Imo State, in Enugu State, demolish people's house without any solution, without any alternative. The same thing that the center can do in Abuja, the same thing they would do it in Owerri, they would do it in Abuja. They would take unilateral decisions like dictators, like within the state. They will give them money to pay salary. They will not pay salaries. Huh? Thank you. Imagine, like, look at Abia State, for example. On at about I think last month, the people had to come together and do some kind of sanitation because the waste is too much. Imagine people sitting inside water to sell their goods. Like they are inside a model puddle water. The whole market is there, is covered with water, and people are standing inside that water selling their goods. This is horrible. This is horrible. So my thing is, I like, for example, I lived in the West. I grew up in the East and have lived in the West. And I visited in the North, and I've served in the. I did my youth service in the South. So I have a brief on, like, like I can tell you that I have some conclusions about my experiences from the regions of Nigeria that I've been exposed to, and I can tell you that there is nothing absolutely bad about any one of all these ethnicities or these people, and there's not everything is not absolutely beautiful. You understand? So why would you want to be enemies to each other? You are all Africans, you are all neighbors. Outside of Nigeria, nobody sees you differently. They just see you as Nigerians, you know. So if you say you want to be Biafra, for example, most of the people that are actually involved in all this kind of illegitimate things that Nigeria gets a bad rap from are also from this region or from the Oduduwa region. Like, I don't even know what the fuse is all about now, because you have not shown any indication that you are going to do better. I believe there's some indication, like for example, if your region is richer, if your region is more beautiful, if your region, is functioning better, if you pay salaries. Do you know they don't pay salaries in Imo State, for example? They don't pay salaries, and the pensioners that retire, they are not paying them pensions. And these people come out to protest. They chase them away. They beat them, elderly people. And this is a governor that wants to be a good person, and because he's Igbo, nobody wants to talk about him. That is tyranny there. That is tyranny, like terrorizing their own people because they have this power of governorship and all this. So what is the indication? And when you now have this region to yourself and you have this sovereignty and you are going to be better, at some point I have to say, be careful of what you wish, honestly. Like if you look at what is going on in Ambazonia region, after Germany lost the war, the world powers decided to share the regions where Germans were holding as the colonial masters, and Cameroon and Togo fell into, you understand, were regions that the British wanted to take over. So they decided to ask the what they call them now, the Southern Cameroonians, to join Nigeria. They refused. They said no, that they would rather be with Cameroon. And they did a referendum and pledged beside what they call it. And they were accepted. Like they agreed, overwhelming majority voted in favor of being in Cameroon. Today, they are the one fighting to leave Cameroon. They are fighting. It's repressive. Maybe if they were in Nigeria, maybe things would have played out differently, because you have to be careful what you wish for yourself. The British left us with confederal government. Every region had its own government. It had its own parliament, had its own police, had its own educational system. But some people decided to put it together as one country. And now we are crying that we want to go back to regional government is going to be our solution. And we have completely forgotten that this was what the British left for us. So why was it merged together? And why was the regions and the ethnic nations split into non-entities? Why do we think is going to be a solution? These are the things that needs to be talked about, and it can only be talked about when we elect the people who are speaking the language of the people on the ground into the positions of power to represent us, so they can go to the Senate and have that conversation, so they can go to the House of Rep and have that conversation. But if you don't fight to put those kind of people there, how will your voice be heard? um Jama, I didn't get that last part you were saying. Let me see. Yeah, there is a lot of erosion problem, and everybody knows this. They have this erosion problem, but what is anybody doing about it? We have ministers of environment. How are they doing? What are they doing to help? What are they doing to help? We don't even have like I don't know. There's, in spite of all the wealth that is in Igbo land, like I mean, wealthy people in Igbo land, there are so many poor people. I'm telling you, and these many poor people are the ones that are suffering the brunt of all the failures. So, because from outside you look at the Igbo, you think, oh, look at them, they have it all. I'm telling you, there are so many poor people, and when there are crises in the north, or people kind of forget that there are Igbos those who have also suffered, and they are sent, they go back to their villages, they have nothing to fall back on. So collectivism is a problem that Igbos have not even talked about how to solve it. And I think that they have to show signs that they can do something collectively for a general good, not just for individual good. And before they can extend that to having control of a sovereignty of a region. Because right now, for example, if you come to Imo State, we have the zones, Owerri, Okigwe, and Olu zones. And normally, in a fair society, or the way we want to think about it, it was supposed to rotate, among the regions. But one region, one has been holding sway, and they are proud of this, and they make boast of it that they are going to be in charge of Imo State as long as it takes. So, when you are thinking like this, and then you if you take it to a larger scale and you go to Abuja, what makes you better than the person there that is, sectional in his thinking, So I think that on the general, we have not learned the idea of having that kind of society. We are still submerged in this, our ethnic lines. And this is why it is very easy to conquer Africans. So when you wonder, how was it possible that Arab came and conquered Africans, Europeans came and conquered African, now Chinese, is because we continue to think as tribes. We continue to think as small ethnic minorities. And so somebody can just play one small minority. In that person's eyes, you are all the same. But since you don't see yourself as the same, they are going to play against you. The Europeans understand this. So when they are in Europe, they may be doing this European, you understand, they may be doing this European white identity, but you understand what I'm saying? So they do it, this white identity, when they are out of the region. They present that front, they work in that front as one collective. But when they come back home, they know they are Germans, they are French, they are, but when they come out of Europe, they are Europeans. They look for the collective interests of everybody. For example, during the corona outbreak, when they went to pick people from China, they didn't say, oh, I'm just here to pick only Germans. They picked everybody that was from the EU. They brought them back. So we are not thinking like that, and it's sad. It's sad, especially from the northern side. Because the northerners have held sway to the power of Nigeria, and they are using it to hold everybody down. So what we need is a more sophisticated southern unity, a unified front to do the necessary. But when you have this wrangling between the Southerners, and this lack of trust, and this lack of cooperation, and this lack of collective interest between the Southerners and the Middle Belt, you still have this small minority holding sway over you. All they need to do is to play one ethnicity of the South against the other. They work with Southwest, they are still at the helm of affairs. They work with the Southeast, they are still at the helm of affairs. And then the Southwest and the Southeast and the Middle Belt continue to cry. But you are the one empowering them, you are the one enabling them to be in that position. How about doing something more, more than the rudimentary everyday thing that you have done for the 60 years? You cannot be doing the same thing and expect another result. You have to change your tactics and see how it works. And then you cannot dwell on the past and say, oh, they did this, they did that. Me personally, I don't see that anybody did betray anybody. For me, it's about self-interest. If what I'm about to embark on, I feel that it's not going to yield the interest for me, or if I'll make it known to you that I can't continue on this path. So you cannot blame anybody and hold it against anybody because they didn't support your vision and you didn't make it. Because if you made it, it will be irrelevant whether the person supported you or not. But because you didn't make it, you have to fall back on that. So I think we need elites that are it's possible for them to look beyond eating and drinking and buying houses in Europe, that they need to play better politics. They need to do something that is not what they have been doing in the last years. And for the ordinary people, your duty is to find such sophisticated people and push them to power, fight and stand your ground, make sure you support them overwhelmingly. Like overwhelming support is that, no be say if they come here they go say, ah, this one dem vote 10 for and dem vote 20 here, they come vote 15 for here, so one person go just come join one together say na lie. If you want to vote for somebody like that, you make it, the difference is clear, you know. Make the difference very bold, like nobody, dem no born the person wey go come change am. You show wetin you got. If you say you get sense, show it. If you say you sabi this thing, show it. If you say you go school, you sabi blow grammar, show it. You know, you say you sabi do development. If to say dem give you the whole country, na you go develop am pass. Develop your front, make we see. Go sweep your front yard, make we see. Go clear the grass wey dey your backyard, make we see. Show us how e dey be. No be say you go dey for your place wey you dey, person no see road pass, person no see road pass, person no see anything eat, but na you wan come prove say, if to say na you dey in charge, you for better. No, e no dey work like that, you know. Sometimes I just have to put some pidgin English in this thing, make e be say, maybe no be say person just dey talk for up, you know, dey reach ground. So you cannot prove say you know better, you sabi better, you can do better, but you no dey show am, person no dey see am for eye, anaghị ahụ ya n'anya. Abia na Aba, agaghị ahụ ụzọ esi aga. You go to Aba, you don't see any road to pass. People are inside the water selling market, but you think that you can show the world how to build a better society. Show us the one that is in your own. There are so many things wrong that we are not doing well. The equity we are talking about, we are not practicing it. We are not practicing it. So I believe that beyond all the rhetoric of everybody who wants to go their way, everybody who wants to go and form a new country, we need to think beyond now and think, okay, what is the evidence now? What is giving us the mind that that place we are going is going to be better? It will be exceptional, you know. I'm not saying that everything is working fine now. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm still saying that there is always a way around every problem. It's a problem, and we can go around that problem without shedding of blood and destroying the little one we have. This is what I'm actually saying in principle. I wanted to show you the pictures in Aba. I posted those pictures a while ago. I wanted to show you. I posted them on my Facebook page. And it's not only in Aba, in Anambra to, nature. So many places, they are so, like, you can't even look at them. So I wanted to show you this. I hope you can see it. Can you see this? These are people inside the market. So you can see this place is filled with water, and they are inside that market like that because if they don't sell, there is nothing to eat. Look at this place now. These are people from Igbo land, and the governors and people in charge of this state, they have no idea what they can do. And if they don't have any idea what they can do now, they will also not have any idea what they will do in Biafra. Imagine. Like, I don't really like to show it, but I just have to show you a little bit. Look at, this is where people are. Imagine the thousands that they are inhaling in this kind of market. So when we are talking about these things, it's not because we don't want what everybody wants. I wanted to show you this one too. Like, look at this road, this place now. You can see houses all around. These are road in Igbo land, So, and these are local roads, not federal roads. So why can't the governor fix this kind of road? And he's there, everybody's rallying around him, praying for him. So if you have this kind of governors right now in Igbo land and in the facilities that they have, they cannot do any better. I don't know. I don't see that they are going to magically begin to do better. I don't see it. Look at where people, like, this was the road, and now people cannot pass there. People pass on the edges. Imagine, like, the suffering that people in, that is why people are all actually attracted with the idea of Biafra, because of the belief that, um when you that things are going to be better, basically. This one is in Onitsha, for example. Look at this place. It's in Onitsha. eh? Look at it. Onitsha. These are wastes in the middle of the city. Look at it. Look at it. No road. People have to struggle. And like, no road. They can't even, these are state road though. It's not federal road. Now maybe they will say because it's federal road. I know that a lot of federal road, but that is a discussion for another day. But imagine they can't even take care of this kind of one. And this is the things that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to face this failure. This failure is what is affecting people immediately in that environment. The people here now, they are affected by this condition that they find themselves. You understand? But the governor succeed in removing their focus on them, the people in authority there in the locality, and they put the fault. So I can imagine that this is the same case all over the country, in the southwest and the middle belt, and there's a lot of failure among the politicians to do the needful. So they make it seem like that they give them the new country, and then these are just government problems, but we still have the social problems. The social problems are still there. Nobody is talking anything about it. For example, the issue of child labor, people taking children. But you already have leaders there. Hmm? You already have leaders there. Why about you hold them accountable, since you have the power to intimidate people who say what they don't want, you have the power to threaten. Why don't you use that power somewhere else? It will be useful. You don't want people to see how dysfunctional your state is. You don't want people to see this. You because you are intent in blaming somebody in another region. Then that means you are not sincere. Because if you are really sincere, you will be thinking about your local environment, where you are, where it's affecting your people, your region. That will be your priority. Unless you have been put to a job by the politicians to do their dirty work, to remove your mind and focus from them, and be attacking the federal government for whatever reason. But if the intention is for the betterment of the life of the people right now, there where they are, there are provisions there are possibilities. They don't have to live this kind of life that they are living right now. I hope I made my point clear. And apart from that, we still have a lot of social issues. We have a lot of women maltreating children that are not theirs, and they are doing this in the presence of everybody, and everybody is so coward. They cannot stop it. They cannot stop it. Everybody is just looking, and they cannot stop it. They cannot do anything to change those kind of things. And if you cannot change it, then what makes you can? I believe so. I believe so. But there is always a way. I know even when I was in Nigeria, the federal road was bad. But all this time, we have legislators in the government. What are they doing? Those people are the ones that are supposed to be held accountable. And if they are not representing their constitution, their constituency, all the people in those regions need to use the power of the constitution to recall them. Recall them. You see, so somebody here has also said the state government can do the road, the federal road, and you give the federal government the bill. You see, so that solves the problem. So leaving the road that is federal road is the mark of the highest form of incompetence. I believe that our politicians are just the worst. They don't have any idea what it means to be a governor. Yeah, the roads are bad, okay? Fine. But what is the governor doing about it? The governor can build the road and send the bill to the federal government. Have they done it? Of course it does. It does. It does. It does. It works like that. But the governors will tell you it doesn't work. It's a lie. It works like that. It works like that. It is time to remove your eye from the center. If you put enough pressure from the locals, then if they're not, then they will be forced to talk about your problem in the center. But if you leave the local representative and you are talking about the center, first of all, the center is not hearing you. The center is far away. The center doesn't hear you. You see, but you in the local areas, you are the one that can take charge of what is going on. Yeah, even if it's a federal road, but this one I'm showing you now, is it a federal road? Even the one inside the market is a federal road. Come on now. Huh? You see? So, you see, did you read the comment our brother Amos wrote? He said many state governors built the road, the federal road, but the federal government repaid them the money. It is what it is. That is why you have to play a better politics so that you can get to the center, if that is your goal. It's not something people have to be dying for. Are you getting me? I'm coming from the point that if the rural and social and federal and infrastructure is your problem, then there are ways around it. Then if the political power at the center is your problem, there is also a way around it. Yeah, you play a better politics, you collaborate more, you don't alienate everybody and call them names and tag them sabo betrayer. So if you have governors and government that are ready to do the work, if you have Southerners, I don't need to have any update, but it's obvious that the politicians in the Southeast are bent to steal all the resources and blame the center. They don't want to do anything. That's why they enable anybody to tell Igbo people that they are slaves. They are slaves. And Igbo people now think that they are slaves. How can you be a slave in your own father's land? How? You are not a slave. They have the equipment that the federal government have given them. Why don't they use it? Why don't they use it? Why don't they use the resources? Where do their resources go? The resources of the state is not their private money to use it to wear special glasses and special dresses and use it to carry their children abroad. The resources of the state is for the state. So until we tell ourselves this truth, the Igbo politicians, they are so corrupt that they focus the mind of everybody to Abuja, whereas they are not doing their own. As a parent, when you have your child, you have to do your own at home before the teacher can do their own, before the child can get into the society. But you fail at home, your child will be a failure regardless. And this is what they have done. They have failed woefully. They have failed woefully. They cannot do road. They have no infrastructure. They have no skill acquisition center. They are not doing anything. And they're just occupying that space. And I'm telling you people that the federal government have not done anything. Can you imagine? Yeah. I know this also because when I was in Ondo State, I saw that the state government did a lot for the people. And I saw that the state government stupid bursary to students. The state governors in the southeast don't do anything like this. Everybody is on their own. I saw the state government, they will build state schools, state health centers. No, it's your politicians that are not working. They are failed. And the worst part is, if they do one small thing, you will sing their praises and sing their praises and elevate them beyond anything. Nigeria is not working, but it can work. It can work. It's not something that you have to be running around on the street and leave your business and leave your school and leave everything you are doing and be running from pillar to post. I'm talking about solution now. Nigeria is not working. Why is Nigeria not working? Because the people who are in charge of the state resources are embezzling it. They are embezzling the money that is meant for development. That is why Nigeria is not working. And for Nigeria to work, the state government have to invest in their state. It's not about federal, but the state government, they are so crafty, especially in the southeast. They are so incompetent, and they push every Igbo person to be shouting that everything is coming from Abuja. Of course, I'm an Igbo woman. Why does it change anything? If I'm an Igbo woman, are you people afraid of the truth? It doesn't matter whether I'm Igbo or not, but I'm Igbo. But I see the failure. I've lived in Igbo land. I grew up in Igbo land, and I see the failure. The failure is so glaring. When you have lived in Igbo land and you go to another region, you see the failure of the state. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. Do you know that Igbo governors don't even know how to give scholarship? They don't know how to give free education. There is corruption everywhere. There is corruption everywhere. There is corruption in Nigeria. The corruption in Nigeria is also the state government stealing the money, the state local government stealing the money. Imagine if the local government chairman that gets the allocation from the federal government use that money in their local government. Let's assume they even use 40%. 50%. Let them eat half and use half. Imagine this situation, but they eat everything. Okay, I don't know. I don't know that I put everything east, but I know that when I was in the southwest, I saw the difference that the state government was making. We don't even know anything about federal. Okay, have a good day. Happy new moon to you. So what I'm trying to say is, some people have this idea, so some people have this idea that everything has to come from the center, and they want to talk about every other thing but their own region. But your own region is where you are feeling the pain and the suffering, but you don't want to talk about your region. Why do you say that? Why do you it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying, is it true or is it not true? Is it true or is it not true? If your state government have failed and you want to excuse their incompetence by blaming Buhari, who is the one that is not reasoning well? It's you, of course, because you've been trained to think otherwise, and you have to be able to open your mind to unthink all the things that they have told you, so that you'll be able to see so that you begin to see everything for what it is. But if you're not willing to do that, you will just be swallowing the rhetoric they are telling you. They are supposed to go to Ebonyi State. Oh my God. Go and see what the government have done. The governor of Ebonyi State, just in a space of 4 years, look at what that man has done. Transformed Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State, like when you are there, you will not know that it's Ebonyi State. When you are in Ebonyi State, you won't know that it's Ebonyi State. But some incompetent governor in Abia State is sitting in the muddled water, and they are leaving him to talk about Buhari. Is it Buhari that embezzled the money? Didn't Buhari give him the monthly allocation? The governor in Imo State, they will embezzle even pension in a state that doesn't have federal government, in a state factories, they don't have industries. They embezzle all the money that is supposed to be used to pay salaries. They don't even pay. So there is no multiplier effect. Nobody has money for anything. There is poverty. They don't pay. Pensioners came to protest for their wages in Imo State. They send talks to send them away. Elderly people. This is happening in Igbo land. Why is this not your priority? No, you want to talk about what is happening in Boko Haram territory. That is a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. And that is the lie that they have told you, that as long as the federal government is not working, the state government will not work. It's a lie. It's a lie. That is pure lie. And that is why the people in Aba are standing and sitting inside water, because their state government have failed. Is it the federal government that will come and drain that market water for them? Is it the federal government that is going to come there and send them help to clean their own environment? Is it the federal government that will come and clear the grass and clear the dirt? Hello? Why are you people like this? Nigeria is not working. The federal government is not working. What about your state? Because calling out the federal government, cursing the federal government, say you want to leave Nigeria, is it going to solve the problem of those people who are sitting in this model puddle and selling whatever they are selling? People who are in danger, health danger, because the incompetence of the state government to better their local life. Look at I can't show those pictures here because YouTube doesn't allow it. Show you pictures of children sitting on bare floor in Abia State. No seats. They are sitting. Where is the money meant for this? The local government, they have eaten it. The state government, you don't want us to talk about the real issue that is affecting an average Igbo person that is living in Igbo land. These are the things that will change the situation immediately. Yeah, because they are the ones crying the most. They are the ones crying the most. You have a problem that is affecting the whole country. You are the one crying every time like a baby. Cry me some more. Cry, 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 cry. Why? They are killing people in Kaduna. You are the one crying, crying, crying the more. Okay, fine. It's good to feel sympathy for people, for your fellow countrymen. But then, at some point, it's okay then. You have to face your own problem, your own reality. So this is my own. This is my own. Can Nigeria get better? It can only get better if the people on the ground in the region are doing what they need to do. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, all the places that you want to run to, it's also people that with the way Nigeria is, with all the dysfunctionality of the federal government, somehow people put things in place and manage their life. But once every time, only what you're talking about is secession, nobody wants to listen to you again. Nobody wants to take your complaints serious because they are thinking, okay, they want to go anyway. They want to go anywhere. Why don't you just be laying the foundation for the future, be working with what you have, making the life of people amenable right now. Let people be able to live the life that is worthy right now, that people don't have to sit inside water to be able to sell something, to be able to feed themselves. It's a shame that something like this is happening in Igbo land, that even in Borno State, where people are facing crisis, that they don't have that kind of problem, but that Igbo people who are so rich and so educated and so wise have this kind of domain as their frontier. It's a shame. It is a shame. It's a shame. And for me personally, I feel that everything that you are complaining about, irrelevant of whether it is legitimate or not, you have to do what you have to do to avoid further destruction and further loss of life. Let's assume everything that the government is doing is not working. Why do you want to kill other people's children because of it? Why do you want people to die? Why do you want war to break it down? It's not a must, but the problem is you want to drag everybody. You want to drag everybody. Nigeria is not working. We know. What is the solution? That is what we have to ask. And if you say secession is a solution, can you explain what are the things that is going to make it different? What are the modalities that shows that a seceded Biafra is going to be better than Nigeria? Show us proof. What have you done differently in the regions that will fall into Biafra right now? What have you done differently? Show us. Like cyberbullying people because they don't share your opinion, physically attacking people. Is it what you want? Is it what you want? Who is going to run this Biafra? What are the regions? What are the regions? Where is the map? Then if it's not going to come by war, who is talking about, who is negotiating about it? Because when you demonstrate on the street is not enough. Who is representing you to present your case to the world? That is according to you as an individual. But what capacity do you have to present that statement to the world that we are not one and we can never be one? This is the hurdle before you. And the world sees every black person as one. Or the black people themselves see the differences in themselves, which is also legitimate. But when it comes to state creation and letting people run their own, having the right to self-determination and determining how they run their life, you have to be able to present your case in a very diplomatic way because you don't have the capacity to go for war. And what are you doing in that regard? Who is your representative in the Senate, in the Parliament, that is talking about your agenda as a whole? Nobody. So if you are on the street running from today to tomorrow and you don't have anybody with that mandate in the Senate, you don't have anybody with that mandate, then you are just inviting chaos. And if you want to invite war to your region again, it's not going to make it better. You are going to start from the beginning again. So now what you have to do is to start from scratch and build up whatever you are looking for. And you have to start by developing the Southeast. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where I'm from. Okay? So on top of all the problems you are facing, you are also sectional. You see, you are going to say you are not Igbo, you have Yoruba blood, you have Hausa blood, your father is from Hausa land, and then this is how you want to run a country. You understand? So I mean, it's really whatever. But anyway, I feel that Nigeria at 60, there is really nothing to celebrate because there's a lot of tragedy going on right now. And my heart goes out to all the people who are suffering the incompetence of this federal government. I've made a video in the past where I talked about the chief separatist leader, and I said the chief separatist leader of Nigeria is not even the people who are calling for secession, but the president himself, in the way he has aligned himself to his ethnic nationality and distributes resources of the state to the ethnic nationality. Thank you, thank you. So you understand, like I made that video and I said right now the chief separatist leader is actually not the Southeasterners that are calling for secession. It's not even anybody else but the president himself, because he has been like all his dealings, he keep saying only the North. He went to IMF, he said they should concentrate on the North. He's so sectional, and he's making this sectionality go. What we would have wanted is people in the Senate to bring up this topic, at least sanction him, sanction him, take this sectionality to the world powers, and they will sanction him, at least call him out for what it is, because people on the street don't have that capacity. We don't have that mandate, but we have people representing our regions in government that are supposed to lift up these voices and bring it to the world, and the world will act accordingly. You understand me? So at the end of the day, now you have this level of sectionalism and everybody is outraged about it, but I just want to say that it's just for a while, not more than 2 years now. Nobody knows tomorrow it will be over with this government. But what are you doing about the government that's going to come after him? You see, this is how you are going to circumvent the problem you have. You understand me? Exactly. Exactly. So we have to be able to um, play better and strategize better and think ahead, So yeah, that is what I'm saying. I don't know, this this person is just so hard. I don't know, some people, once you don't say what they want to hear, I like to actually hear a different opinion because it makes me to think, when I hear somebody not sharing my views, somebody having another perspective, it's interesting for me because I want to understand that aspect also. You understand me? uh so I want to understand why that person is thinking like that. I would like to reflect on what is making that person see this thing like this, but when everybody is looking at the same thing at the same way, it's herd mentality. No normal society functions like that. You understand? So the question now is, Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is not working. Fine. How can we amend the situation? Is there any hope? Is there any hope? And is there any guarantee that splitting Nigeria is a better solution? Because for every argument you make about splitting Nigeria, you can also make another better argument about keeping it. For every argument you make about, it depends on your viewpoint. You understand me? Yeah, exactly. So they like to intimidate people, and they don't want us to have the relevant conversation. They want us to follow a populist, uh, route, and just be, over agitated about anything. No, when you are in that state of mind, you don't think rationally. You don't even take a good decision. But when you are, when you are more open-minded, it is very easy for you to take other points of view, other, you understand, viewpoints more, like you are able to consider, like even think about it. What are they even saying? What, why are they actually saying that? And take it into your consciousness and be able to make decisions based on that. But when you are parochial, you just want one thing, it's only going to lead to more devastation of repression and autocracy and tyranny. Nothing good comes from such things. Nothing, nothing. So we saw the example of Eritrea after all the years of the war. The example is there for us. The example is there for us. I am of the opinion that the cry about the Fulani is so much. Everybody has been crying about this Fulani, and we have so many people in the southeast. And you have many. I blame Igbo governors for the situation of of the standard of living in Igbo land that is making Igbo people bearing the brunt of the failure of the Nigerian states much more than every other region. If you want to go to the southeast now to buy land or to start a business, is so difficult. You have to pay so much. The services and the returns you get are so poor and so expensive. You literally can't start there, so you have to run away, and so it makes it very difficult for people to even consider it. So it is left for the government in this region to make a better conducive environment for people to start up new businesses, for people to be able to go about their businesses and live a better life in good environmental conditions, not in this kind of absolute poverty situation where a few minority have all the wealth and the rest look on in misery. It creates this animosity and this anger, and they don't even know where it's coming from, and they are directed to anybody. And this is the failure of the leaders in this southeast. And this is what I'm talking about. And that one is different from the problem of Nigeria as a whole. So there are two things. The Nigerian federal government, like I was saying, that President Buhari has been very sectional in the way he has been running his business, his country. He's been so nepotic. You understand me? He's been so nepotic, and he has only entrusted only people who are from his ethnic nationality. He's only making yeah, infrastructural development to anything that will favor his part of the Fulani, or the northeast, or northwest, whatever, something like that. But he's not going to be there forever. That's my position. And so it is like that now. But while all this is going on, you have to begin to strategize what is going to come after that. This is my position. But going to war will exacerbate the whole situation. People will die. A lot of things will be destroyed. And again, you don't have the capacity for war. You know, you don't have the capacity for war, and the military is not in a position that they want to go to war, because it's the Nigerian military that will decide if they want to go to war. It's the people in power who have the military capacity that will want to say that they are declaring war, not ordinary civilian. It's in a place like America where everybody have the license to bear guns, that when they are talking about war, the government will listen. But you, that you are a layman, you are on the street, you don't have access to gun, you cannot own gun, you don't have you are not by law allowed to own gun, except if you have special license for it and all those things. You are limited in so many ways, but you have the possibility to try to bring on representatives through political means, to take that representation that you want to the center where your voice can be heard. And this is where you have to start acting up. And if you want to hold on to the power in the center and do for the southeast, just like the sessional president, you have, or to the southwest, something like that. This is what I'm saying. But I feel that we don't need to hate on each other. There is no need to hate on each other, whether you are Igbo, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Edo. There is no place for hate. Hatred does not solve any problem. Calling somebody Edo, calling somebody Yoruba, calling somebody Igbo block, calling somebody Hausa block, it doesn't mean anything. We are all humans before the creator, and before every other person in this world. We are all Africans. Hate is not a solution to the problem. If there are politicians who have failed to represent their people well, then use the instruments of the government to call them back, recall them. You don't need to go on social media or go out in the open and hate on each other and make even the life more difficult. So this is the situation of things now. Nigeria at 60 is still a baby. It's not doing anything that it's supposed to do. So many things are not going well. But bringing war upon it, bringing death and destruction is also not a solution. Like we see what is going on in the northeast for so many years now, and this is not what we want in any other region in Nigeria. There is no joy in seeing African people suffering and dying. There is no joy. There is nothing good about it. So my people, I think I made my point clear. And if you're open-minded about these things, I think you will agree with me that as things are right now, that I don't know. Yeah. I think we need to understand the dynamics that have played upon us and do better. But of course, a lot of people don't understand it. So when you bring this kind of view to the people, you are seen as an outsider, as a betrayer. They don't understand where that argument is coming from, or upon which place it is based on. But in the end, identity politics is can take you so far. Identity politics is something that you is an instrument that you can use to fight for your right. Maybe your right has been deprived, and then you want to get some of that your right from the center, but not because you want to use that right to repress another people, not because you are special that you want special right, just because you want just as much right as the other person has. But then it can still spiral out of control because it becomes self-destructive. That's what people don't know. You understand? And how far can you go about identity politics? How far can you go? So people don't understand, when they do identity politics, which is what Igbo people are playing, identity politics that is fueled by resentment, you know I'm telling you. But of course, I think that we can arrange ourselves along, like for example, Nigeria as it is right now is a massive place. For example, look at the problem that Nigerians in Ghana are facing. Imagine, look at the problem that, like, Ghana is just a small country. It's possible that in the near future, or look at the problem that Ambazonians are facing. Maybe if they remained in Nigeria, they will not have this problem now that they are having. And how many years on end now there is violence there? They can't go to school, no life is functioning. Most of their people are dispersed across West Africa in camps and as refugees and all those things. And the UN is still calling for peaceful resolution. Yeah, they have to resolve it peacefully, you understand? And even though they did the place beside to agree to be in Cameroon, it is their decision. They have to live by it. So these things that you are seeking, it doesn't come so easy. But what is very easy is for you to work with the resources and the instruments of the law that you have right now, and begin to change the life, and do that thing that you want right now, and begin to create that better life, better opportunity. All these things, you can do it. It can be done. It can be done. I really believe it. I just believe that we need to, yeah, take the hand that they have given us and deal with it as it will favor us. This is just what I believe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know. I think they are just so obsessed with the center. I don't know. But secession is like for me personally, I feel that secession is enticing, is sweet. But when you think deeper about it, when you think deeper about it and everything that it entails, So, like I said, the decisions of the past politicians is what we are suffering today. And let us not be quick to make decisions that the future generations will suffer immensely for. So for now, let us begin to use what we have, no matter how little, no matter how much we don't want that or we complain about it, but we can still live with it and do what we can with it, and we don't have to cause anything that will bring more loss of life and more destruction. Let us build on what we have. Let us build on the achievement that we have. It can always get better. It can. It can, it can. And if the regions agree to go back to confederation, it's also good. Everybody we have regional government, have their own police, and have their own system, and still, you understand, still have access to other parts of the country. It's a win-win for all. You see, so but it's something that is possible. But outright secession doesn't seem that it's coming anytime soon. So you have to work with what is available right now. And this is what I'm trying to say to every one of you. So, as much as everybody hates to hear it, I want to say happy, happy new month. Thank you so much for being with me, and happy independence. And for those of you who don't like to hear it, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for joining me today. I think I've said all I needed to say, and I'll have to leave you guys now. Of course, I never said we should forget about it, but we don't have to make it what is called the sunk cost lost. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. So they killed us, I know, but you are not going to, because of they killed you, and offer yourself to be killed more. How is it going to change anything? You have to salvage the lives that you have and use them better. Thank you so much. Thank you, my people. I'll see you in another live stream. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.